Greetings. I wanted to make a video to reflect with all of you a little bit about my reflection of what's happening on the planet. So many people are filled with fear right now, even if it's not tangible within their current realities. So many people have within the back of their thoughts this fear and this suffering and these dramas that are playing out inside of their minds. This fear, this collective fear. What is happening is that there is an obsidian mirror, or a mirror of the void. And this happens when a species has to begin to look within. And for so long, humanity has been skipping on the surface, continuously defining themselves based off of the programs all around them. And what's happening is that as we turn within, there is a darkness inside. And that darkness has all of our own fears projected onto it, all of our own misunderstandings projected onto it. Because when we turn within, when we turn the lights off, and all that's left is us, we are the only ones that are responsible for our reality. If any of you lay in bed at nighttime or have had, the pleasure of experiencing a float tank or something that is just very sensory deprivation, then you may know what I'm talking about, that when you are laying in the darkness, the womb, the creation space, you start to really understand that you are the creator of your reality. Absolutely. Let's say I had this experience. I was laying in a float tank, and I was allowing all of this natural, beautiful energy to flow through my body, thoughtlessness. It was just my natural state of being. And from that natural state of being, I just was seeing the most beautiful visuals, these very celestial, kind of almost like angelic visuals. And then I had some fear. I started feeling fear of being in this contained box floating in water, and I had different fears. What if someone breaks into the establishment and I'm stuck in this box? Primal different mindset fears come in, and as soon as I thought those things, my vision instantly turned from that beautiful comforting to something that was a little bit more dark, and I saw myself in a darker reflection, a darker aspect of myself, and it came from this feeling of fear within me. And I reflect this because it's just showing that that wasn't, someone else didn't give me that thought, someone else didn't tell me to have that vision. That was solely me. I had that vision. I had both visions, and it was based off of the frequencies, my intention of what I am connecting to. That is why you might hear a lot of people talk about our bodies being a tuning fork. Our intentions in our bodies are tuning forks of resonance. And whatever our intention is resonating at, that is what we are manifesting, not only within ourselves, but also all around us in our reality. And since people are turning within and having to face their shadows like never before, having to face the shadow of humanity, having to face shadows of past life karma, whatever it may be, there's a lot of suffering that I'm seeing within many different communities, within many different frequencies of the spiritual community and other communities. And my intention with making this video is to reflect ways to help you move through those shadow work, to help you move through and breathe through and come back into that state of harmony, into union. And the greatest message that I have to offer is absolute stillness. We are constantly being stimulated, not only on the outside now, but also on the inside. Many of us are having visions, having very multi-dimensional experiences on the inside as well as on the outside. And so we are constantly being stimulated with all of this information. And this is essential because it is upgrading our nervous system. It is preparing our nervous system and our DNA. We are healing our DNA and so that we can take more light into our bodies to be pillars of resonance for the new children that are coming in, for the new waves of being that is coming into humanity. Just allow yourself to really feel that and the truth of that if it resonates for you. And so the greatest reflection that I could ever offer at this time is stillness, the void. Don't be afraid of the darkness. Allow yourself to dissolve. See it as a sanctuary. Allow yourself to dissolve into the peace of what that is. For when we stop projecting our fears onto darkness, it actually offers enlightenment. You think about gold that's growing in the ground, the crystals that are forming in the ground, they form in darkness. And so that is a very beautiful symbology of that when we turn within and we actually allow ourselves to sink into the true presence of who we are, we can find gold within those caverns, we can find crystals, we can find beautiful jewels. They were digging into the earth, trying to get to the center of earth. And the more that they went down and the pressure got greater and greater, the crystals were literally just forming naturally in these perfect, clear spheres. And so that's kind of a reflection that the more that we go deeper, the deeper we get to the core essence of who we are. The more that we crystallize and that clarity is there, that clarity of awareness, that sphere of awareness that can guide us and direct us in our daily realities. Another beautiful reflection that I would like to share with all of you. Scientifically, they were studying soldiers, their DNA, and the way that the soldiers' trauma affected their DNA. And whenever the soldiers' memory was triggered of the experiences that they had, their DNA would literally compress on itself and begin to shrivel. And, that's same, with any traumatic scenario or suffering, or just whenever we suppress ourselves, suppress our glory, suppress all that we have to offer here. Scientifically, yogis and many different beings have known this for a long time, but now science can be a beautiful reflection for people that are solid-minded, is that the DNA literally begins to compress on itself, which literally, our DNA is everywhere. It is who we are, that it compresses our self and who we are. But then if someone is having a beautiful, enlightening experience, something that fills them with joy, with bliss, with harmony, literally their DNA uncoils, unravels, the whole symbology of the serpent coming up the spine. All of these serpents are within every single cell, every single DNA of our being. Yes, there is a central Sushumna, the central core of energy, the central tuning fork, but everything else is that as well. Every single cell, every single part of our body. If there is one aspect of our body that is feeling suppressed, then it's going to ripple into all of the other aspects of the body. It is all a living, breathing organism. So when that DNA opens up, literally scientifically, it gets filled with more light. More light goes into the DNA and opens us up. And I can talk based off of reflection that whenever I experience, whenever I do healing sessions, or whenever I'm doing the crystal bowls and so on and so forth, or just having really beautiful conversations, I can see it in my partner's skin, Ashawi, as well as mine. We are literally glowing. Like, I feel like you can tangibly see the light within our bodies, and that's because literally our DNA is being filled with more light. And so where we are headed as a whole of humanity is to reflect. The shadow work is super real for a lot of people right now. And I feel like personally, of course, shadow work will continue to come up for me. That's just a part of the natural unfoldment process. But based off of where I am right now, I feel very steady. I feel very consistent of feeling the waves, watching the waves come and go, and I feel very steady within the waves. And so from that space of reflection, the way that I have gotten there is by entering the void space, is by going into stillness, into true stillness of the mind. I'm not feeling like I constantly have to take in all of this information, all of this stimulus, and just to really come into a space of neutral, deep love. And, that is how I have healed from depression. That is how I've come to a space of really the essence of walking on water. And sometimes I slip, it's all a part of it, but walking on the water of emotions, of all of the things that life has to offer, the light, the dark, and all of it. And that's what we are all, I believe, striving towards or becoming as a part of this enlightening species, is to find that central path, that middle path. And I would like to reflect that so many people, feeling this essence of almost the end of the world, or, this intense density. And the truth is that the world as we know it is ending. The reality that we know is ending. It is transforming. Everything that we are experiencing right now of the old paradigm is dying, not only within the governmental systems and all of the different structures, but it is dying within our own minds, dying within our own programs. So many of us, especially on the spiritual path, we think that we're not wrapped up in the programs, that we're not manipulated by the programs until you go through a certain initiation that really reflects to you how deep those programs go into our reality, those unhealthy programming. And so as we restructure that, not only being like saying, I'm going to try to restructure it, but you allow the inner light to dissolve that programming, allow your mind to let go of what it thinks it knows is right or wrong or up or down, and just a trust in the heart, trust in the inner juiciness of who you are, that inner child, the deep wisdom of who you are, and allow that wellspring to come up through your body and baptize your being. And when you are being baptized by those celestial waters, by that crystalline water of who you are, of Gaia, a child of Gaia, of the stars, of the universe, as you allow that to emanate from you, it literally will purify and cleanse those programs from your mind. And it's allowing yourself to dissolve, to let go. Because who you most naturally are without the programming is your most authentic divine essence here. And so during this time, the world is going through a great kundalini awakening. And you look up kundalini awakenings and you will find more than not that it wasn't this easy, ecstatic, continuous orgasmic experience, but more times than not, it was scary and people had to die, and I've had to die in my experiences with the Kundalini energy, and able to truly dissolve and come into a state of true union and harmony. And that is what's happening for the collective, and the more that we gracefully, easily allow ourselves to have these old programs die away, the more that it will become easy for us and for the collective and for the new energies coming onto this planet to truly come in with ease and grace. This can be blissful. This can be easy. We need to let go of our attachments. We need to let go of what we think is right or wrong, in like certain titles of I am this, I am that. It's like dissolve it all and there is love continuously. That is my reflection in this moment. And for all of you that are having a hard time, I invite you into that stillness, into that trust, into that dissolve of not feeling like you need to save the whole world all at once. Allow yourself to just be a part of that natural magnetism of the universe, and trust in love, trust in the natural unfoldment that is happening here. Trust in yourself. You are always eternally loved. Just turn within, look within, and there is that love. Hold yourself in that. Love yourself in that. Kiss yourself in that. And you will feel how you are connected to the whole of love, the wholeness, the holy of love. Peace and blessings to you all. Thank you.